Hi everybody, it's Tatiana, and today I'm coming to do my August wrap-up. I read quite a few books in the month of August, a total of 10 books. Hopefully, I'm recording this very early from when I normally record it, and I have one book that I've started that I will probably be able to finish over the weekend. However, this weekend is going to be extremely busy, so I did not want to delay in recording this so that all I have to do is edit it and upload it. So hopefully the count will be 10 books for August. Again, like I did last month, if I need to break this up into parts, I certainly will. This month has been mostly, again, reading books that are for the BookTube SFF Awards, nominations for the awards, or pre-reading books that are part of a series for books that are nominated for the awards. So I will be glad when this portion of it is over. While I'm enjoying a lot of what I am reading, I kind of want to get to my own TBR shelf. I want to read some books that I have recently purchased and are just sitting still, even in the bag, because my TBR shelf is ridiculous right now. But on to what I read for this month, and these really are not in order because at this point I don't even remember what I read when, but here we go. I read The Slow Regard of Silent Things by Patrick Rothfuss, and I do have a spoiler-free review of this. I really enjoyed it. This is nominated for Best Short Work for the BookTube SFF Awards, so I am going to put the link to my review for that in the description box below if you are interested in checking that out. I also read Half a King by Joe Abercrombie, which I enjoyed. I gave this 3 stars on Goodreads. I do have a review of this as well that is spoiler free. I will put the link to it in the description box below if you're interested in checking that out. This was my first read by this author, and I'm interested in checking out some more of his books. While this was a very interesting read, what I really enjoyed about it was the blood, guts, and gore in literary format. So I've heard some of his other books are just as gory, and I'm really looking forward to checking those out eventually. And the review for that will be in the description box below as well. I started reading The Goblin Emperor, and I am going to DNF this book. I kept the bookmark in it so that you could see where I was when I decided to stop reading it. I am counting it as a read book because I'm about 70% of the way through, but I seriously cannot be a literary masochist anymore. I felt like I was punishing myself reading this novel, and I got no joy out of it. It was so much information, no plot whatsoever, and it starts out with promise. The story behind it is there's an emperor, and he has like 4 sons, one of which is this goblin boy who he married his mother because it was an arranged marriage. He didn't really want to, and then the emperor and the 3 sons that are in line for the throne ahead of Maya, who is the goblin child, are killed or die in a plane crash or an airship crash, and all of a sudden Maya is now emperor, and come to find out, and this is all part of the description on the back, so I'm not spoiling anything, even though really spoil me because this book is horrible. Come to find out, the airship was sabotaged, and so the emperor and his children were killed as opposed to them just having an accident, and all of that's in the description on the back. There were so many things that just annoyed me about this novel from the jump after I got into it. Number one, that this is supposed to be this fantasy novel with all of these fantastical beings and kingdoms, and the dumb, stupid, undesirable race or being in the novel are goblins and who are black. Really? Beyond that, seldom use of pronouns, and this is like reading Welsh or Czech. The names were ridiculous and repeated over and over again in full name format as opposed to he, she, it, that, shit, damn, and it just annoyed me. Then, to top it all off, you get into all of these names, and the pronunciation guide for how to say the damn names is in the back of the book. If I wasn't flipping, trying to see what the heck some of these, or remind myself of what the heck some of the prefixes to these names meant, and all of that, which you typically find in the back of the book, I would have never found the pronunciation guide. Put that shit in the beginning so we know what the hell we're reading. And as I was reading it, I really felt like, if you've heard me talk about some of my high school reading Anna Karenina when I was in 10th or 11th grade was one of the worst reading experiences in high school of my high school experience. And that is how I felt reading this. And it was just like, I need to finish this because I picked it up, And I just couldn't do it. Yeah, didn't like this. I'm counting it as read, but it's gonna get probably 1 star. I don't think I've rated it on Goodreads yet, but it's probably gonna get 1 star. Now, to break up the monotony, thinking that I could take a break from that book and read something else, enjoy it, and get back into the book, because that book just jacked up Bada Books for me as well, because it took like 3 days of Bada Books. I read 100 pages in that book. It was horrible. So, but to break up the monotony of the book, I picked up Lock In by John Scalzi, which is a science fiction novel, also nominated for Best Adult Work. And I really enjoyed this. I have a review of it that I have not yet edited and uploaded. I don't think I've edited yet. But this takes place in the not so distant future where a disease that's like the flu has run rampant, and there is really no cure for it. Either you survive or you die, and of the population that gets infected by the disease, about 1% survive, and of that 1%, there are some who lose the ability for their bodies to function. While they're not dead, it kind of reminded me of ALS. While they're not dead, they're not able to move, they're not able to communicate, but they can feel what's going on with their body, but they have no ability to respond to stimulus. So really enjoyed this, and there are so many other elements that take place in this story, and once I have uploaded my review for that, I will come back and put the link for that review in the description box below, but that review is coming. And I think I'm going to stop here for part 1 because that's getting a little long. Part 2 is on its way. See you in a minute.